I'm Jackson Pierce and this video is about the apocalypse. So today I was on CNN.com and I was reading about this group of people who are absolutely certain beyond a shadow of a doubt that the world is going to end on May 21st, 2011. Which is my birthday for what it's worth, so not only is that unfortunate, but it made the article infinitely more interesting to me. This particular group of people, they drive around in this RV giving out pamphlets about how, God is definitely going to end the world on this one day. They have shirts and buttons and flyers and hats, and they've completely abandoned their families in order to drive around and warn people about the impending doom. They've come to these conclusions about what day the world will end based on some math from the Bible that, if you ask me, is somewhat speculative, but to each their own. Now, on the faith side of this, I feel like somebody should tell these people there's another Bible passage that says no one will ever be able to predict when the world will end. Something tells me they probably won't really be interested in hearing about that passage, but But on the logical side of this, I am very intrigued. People are obsessed with the idea of Armageddon, of a doomsday, of the apocalypse. In fact, people have been obsessed for centuries. 400 years ago, Nostradamus predicted that the world was going to end in 1999. In 1910, people thought that toxic gas from the tail of Halley's Comet was going to wipe out humanity, and Pat Robertson, everybody's favorite televangelist, once predicted that the world would end by 1982. Hey Pat, we're still here. Kind of makes me wonder what else you're wrong about. And let's not forget 2012, subject of much speculation and some pretty terrible movies, all because of something to do with the Mayan calendar. Anyway, I think that humans are kind of obsessed with the idea of Armageddon for a lot of reasons, and not all having to do with death. I think we're intrigued by the idea of all the things we consider valuable suddenly being worthless, like money and status and success. It is frightening because it forces us to look at who we would be without those things, but it's kind of exciting for the same reason. I think we're also really interested by the idea of being there to see what happens in the end, more specifically seeing how the various faiths and religions all play out. But most of all, I think we're actually very intrigued by the end of the world because for some reason it seems much closer to us than the beginning of the world. Looking back is relatively easy because, it's certain. It already happened. Either we remember it, or somebody wrote it down, or we've studied it, or we've found evidence, but either way, we can look back a long way without, losing sight of ourselves. But looking forward is rather difficult because it's impossible for us to accurately predict how the world is going to be in thousands of years. It's scary to imagine a future where our great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren might potentially be paying for our mistakes, where we've been forgotten, where our accomplishments might be irrelevant. Creepily enough, I think it's actually easier for people to just envision no future at all. The world is going to end and then there will be nothing. So anyway, just in case these RV people might be right, I'm gonna eat all my birthday cake on May 20th, and then on the 21st, if the world doesn't end, I'll have a celebratory I survived the apocalypse cake. Anyway, any thoughts, leave them in the comments, and I will see you again on Tuesday.